Hey YouTube, this video is going to be for the duelists and the duelist parents, I guess, or if you're too young to really go to events by yourself, or just basically the duelist guardians. I'm going to call this video Yu-Gi-Oh 101, and basically what I want to accomplish with this is kind of inform people on how to keep their stuff safe, what to expect when going to an event, and the type of people that exist in not just the world, but in the community of TCGs. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do really is, I know it sounds like kind of like a waste of money, but along the way, at some point you're going to have to do it. If you're going to go to an event, you're going to have to do it anyway. You want to get sleeves and a deck box. And that's, I think, something you should be automatically doing anyway to keep your cards clean, keep them nice, protective. Get a binder for your trades, or just to put your cards when you're not using them. Just pick up a binder. It doesn't have to be super crazy expensive. It doesn't have to be one of those monster books or whatever. Just get something decent, but definitely get sleeves and a deck box and maybe a little case or something to put your stuff, because you don't want it to get ruined. You don't want it to just end up everywhere in your backpack or whatever, or your bag, or whatever you happen to be carrying. Now, since we're talking about binders and deck boxes, you want to keep an eye on these items at all times, 100% of the time, 90% of the time, whatever. Actually, 100% of the time. Somebody should have an eye on your stuff. If it isn't you, have a friend that you trust, a friend that you've known forever, or a family member that you trust, just whatever. Anybody who's gonna, that you won't trade your stuff off or sell it or steal it or whatever. Your parents. Just whatever. This is really important. I've seen this happen multiple times. It's happened to, me. It's happened to my friends. It's just something unfortunate that happens when you go to TCG events, or even when you go just to leisurely play somewhere at a school or whatever. There are thieves. There's thieves with everything. When you leave your house, you lock it because you don't want somebody just to walk in and take your stuff. And people break into your house. You don't think people are going to steal a free deck box just sitting there? You want to be very aware of your surroundings. Who's there? Kind of learn who has a bad reputation for doing that kind of stuff. Just kind of get to know people. Try to be as best to judge a character as possible. And if you have to, don't trust anybody except for the people you came with. And you'll make friendships along the way, and you'll make acquaintances and meet people. And sometimes people do stuff that you would never expect. Sometimes you'll meet somebody and they'll burn you, and that sucks. But that's the way this community is. It's not so much every game, but Yu-Gi-Oh has a really bad reputation for that, and that's unfortunate. But I don't mean to turn you off to the game. The game is really fun, but just keep a hawk's eye on your stuff. Make sure that you know where it is at all times. And the next thing I want to move on to, since we're talking about shady people, is know the value of cards. Know how much they're worth. If you go with your mom, or you go with your bigger brother, or if you yourself have a smartphone, you might want to bookmark something like, Troll and Toad or eBay or whatever. Maybe not so much Troll and Toad. I don't know how accurate their prices are, but eBay is pretty accurate. You want to go somewhere like that. A card shop that has a fairly fair, accurate price to what something's worth, and you want to use that as a basis for what you want to use for value. You can, maybe if it's a friend, you can hook them up with a few dollars less, $5 to $8 or whatever. Or just let me trade me this and this, because since we know each other anyway, or just let them borrow it or whatever. But when somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, let me get this for this, or let me get your tour guide for my whatever, or let me get your rescue rabbit. Oh, that's going away anyway. Don't let them trick you. Know about your information. Just know what's going on in the TCG world of whatever card game you're playing, and know what things are worth, because that's how you get ripped off. That's how people basically, jank you out of a deal or something being valuable. I'm already kind of cautious of people like that, so I've never really gotten super ripped off or anything. If I wanted something, it was because I wanted it. It wasn't because I didn't want to have to go buy it off of a website and wait. I wanted to get it then and there. Right? Just become very cautious. That's something good to do. Okay, and know how people can cheat in the game. We all know about stacking. We all know about friends standing behind their back and sending them texts and all sorts of crazy stuff. Just don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody standing next to your stuff. Don't trust anybody standing behind you. Don't, anything. If you see them stacking, reshuffle, repile shuffle, whatever. There's all sorts of things that people can do to really hurt you in this game, and just being fully aware of all the negative things that people can do is the number one way to kind of negate it, or make it kind of useless. That's basically really all I can think of right now to say about that. Just get together with your friends and family and kind of discuss these type of things. Let them know that these people exist, and just your parents help you buy this stuff, or maybe they give you an allowance, so it's your money, but you go buy it, or maybe it's just your money that you earn, and you don't want to lose it on somebody who thought that your stuff was free, or your stuff was fair game, or you were an easy target, or whatever. So just try to be aware of those type of people and your surroundings at all times. And I'll see you guys later.